My YouTube channel. Today we are going to study about the FIBSc subject. That subject is Animal Ecology, Zoology Paper 2, SEM 1, course code is Z0112, Unit 2, Ecosystem. So type of ecosystem, that is Lotic Ecosystem. In that you can see here in this image. So this is the diagram of river. As we know that there are two types of ecosystem, lotic ecosystem and the lentic ecosystem. Lentic ecosystem means stagnant water ecosystem. uh, what we studied in that is lake ecosystem or the pond ecosystem. Again, in that ecosystem two types of components are there, biotic components and abiotic components. So the integration of both components that gives the lake or the pond ecosystem. Now in this chapter we are going to we are going to study about the lotic ecosystem, that is rapidly moving water. So example of rapidly moving water is the river. It has a water current. So what it means, the river has a water current where water is in a motion. Okay, so river ecosystem, it is made up of two components, that is a biotic component and the biotic component, as we already know that. So the integration of both, that is biotic and a biotic component, it gives the ecosystem. Now you can see in this diagram, so littorial, so water zones we can see. So the littorial zones means the area near the shore of the river. Okay, so you can see in this diagram, so different type of plants that grow. Some plants are submerged in water, some are floating in a water. Again, here the zooplanktons, littorial zone and the limnatic zone, that is open shore area. Okay, again here the littorial zone, the area near the shore. Okay, here the benthos means the animal or the plants that grow on the bottom of that river. Again, periphytons are the plants that grow underwater. Again, the small fishes we can see in this diagram. So this is the diagram of the river. It shows the water zones. Again, Lotic ecosystem, a natural system that provides the variety of habitat for many species, for aquatic plants as well as animals. The stream habitants provide the area for feeding, resting, reproduction, generally supports a great diversity of organisms. Here, the river that provides the area for feeding, resting as well as reproduction of the different type of organism. For example, fishes. You can see the examples of lotic ecosystem is rivers, streams, brooks, creeks, human man-made canals. Here, the lotic ecosystem shows the rapidly moving water. River system is made up of two components, that is a biotic and the biotic components. Here the river ecosystem in this diagram, so biotic component, it includes trees, fish, moss, bugs, branches, algae, amphibians, birds, snails, plants, animals, leaves and the roots. A biotic component include river water, rocks, oxygen, sand, dirt, sun, clouds, air, atmosphere and the glaciers. As we know that the abiotic component in this, that is flow of water, that is river flow, soil and the river basin. So here again the light and the temperature. Now the flow, river flow is a key factor in lotic ecosystem because the water have a speed, and that speed of water flow can vary within a system. So water flow can vary within that river or in that system. So flow based on variability of the friction with the bottom or the slides of the channels. Okay, you can see here the friction with the bottom or the sides of the canals. Again, the amount of water input into system from the direct participation, snow melt, groundwater can affect the flow of rate. Again, the flowing water can alter the shape of the stream bed through the erosion and the deposition, creating a variety of habitats including riffles, glides in the pools. The next is light. Light is important and provides energy to drive the primary production via photosynthesis, as we know that. So there are two types of zones. There's a photic and aphotic zones. Here photic zones where water can where sunlight can penetrate. So the organisms, that is obviously the plants, submerged plants as well as rooted or the floating plants that synthesize their own food. These are the primary producers via the photosynthesis. Again, the temperature, as we know that water can be heated, okay, or cooled through a radiation at the surface, conditioned to air or form air surrounding a substrate. Shallow water are well mixed and maintain the uniform temperature within a area. In a deeper water, the slower moving water system and strong difference between the bottom and the surface temperature may develop, because the deeper area that clearly shows the photic and aphotic zone where the sunlight can penetrate and where the sunlight cannot penetrate. So the bottom of that deep area or the deep slower moving water system shows the cooler temperature. So there are two layers of water, so cold and the hot layer of the water. So surface area is always, that is, hot. Again, the next is the biotic factors. The producers are the plants. In that, algae, phytoplanktons, periphytons, phytoplanktons float freely in a water column. So, as we know that producers are the organism, they synthesize their own food via photosynthesis. Here, on producers, consumers are depend for their nutrients. So consumers are the herbivores, example fish, snails, clams and the insect. So these are the small organisms that feed on phytoplankton as well as algae. Again, on herbivores, carnivores that feed, that example snakes, water crab. Again, secondary consumers that feed on the snakes, crab. Again, the small and the large fishes are the secondary consumers, smaller and the large fish. Here, the tertiary consumer, fish and the human. So human that can feed on small as well as large fishes. Okay, you can see in this diagram. So we can see the eagle. Again, eagle is a tertiary consumer or the top consumer. So eagle or the water bird that can feed on the fishes. Though you can see here the crab, bass and the catfishes. Again, the salmon. So these fishes, salmon is eaten by the eagle. Okay. Again, the water birds. Again, by the man or the human. Okay, so here the water in a small invertebrates are there. Again, the plants are there. On that, phytoplanktons feed on the producers. The herbivore feed on the herbivore. Carnivorous organisms are feed. Okay, you can see clearly in this diagram. What is decomposers? So the decomposers are uh, decomposers that attack that act on dead and decaying organic matter of the plant or the animal and supply raw material to the producers. Or we can see dead bodies, dead remains or the bodies of plant and the animal, so attacked by decomposers, that is chiefly because of the saprophytes, bacteria and the fungi. Okay, so this is about the decomposers. They made the complex food simple and it provides to the producers. Thank you.